welcome back to the channel. So we got a market watch here. There is so much stuff to talk about. I am probably going to do a second market watch because we have the 20th anniversary coming out like this week. We're gonna have a lot of videos coming on that. Hopefully a lot more. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I kind of have planned, a couple little special videos. I wanted to do it earlier, but then I kind of got cold feet. Also, there was just a crazy altercation that happened at locals. I'm probably gonna have to do a whole story time video on that one later too. So a lot of videos coming out later. Be crazy for the dude that tried to fight me at locals. Let's say regionals, at locals. Yeah. So if you want to stick around for that crazy story, please subscribe, put on notifications so you could be there for it. But right now we're gonna get into the market watch. So let's go and start with Rescue Ace Hydrant from Amazing Defenders. Man, Rescue Ace. I had an extremely close game with the homie playing Rescue Ace, and I already knew Rescue Ace was such a crazy deck, but to kind of see it in action, it's just man, there's so much stuff that it does. There are there are a lot of interactions that I guess if you realize it, you could kind of stop them from playing you into it, preventing them from having the hydrant on the field, preventing them from having a Rescue Ace monster on the field. Sometimes could prevent you from getting in bad situations, but for the most part, it is extremely strong. It's extremely consistent with the Dia Bellstar engine. It is crazy. So let's just go ahead and talk about the price of these cards, because as you could tell, we are looking at Hydrant, and let's go ahead and just looking at the chart of Hydrant, it was super low all the way. It was just the price, stupid freaking chart. It was kind of already here in the $26 range. I remember people were saying that, oh, it's gonna flop, is this and not that, but no, it has just gone crazy, and we're looking at $42, $43 hydrants. We're looking at the card at about 42 to 43, and 3 is the number that you want to run. I think 3 is a good number. My homie kind of ended up taking out one of his hydrants, and it ended up he ended up needing that third one. So I think Hydrant is one of those cards where you're going to need 3, you're going to want to run 3, and the price is extremely reflecting it. So $42 for Hydrant is pretty much what you're paying. And to be honest, if you're thinking about playing this deck, it's if you're thinking about playing this deck and you wanted to play a budget, it is too late. Yu-Gi-Oh! We are at a point where it is both the best and worst time to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. I might even do a video about that. There's a lot of video ideas coming that I have for this week, but yeah, I might kind of get my ideas out of that one too. But right now is a good time because you got the Rarity Collection, which is going to give you a lot of stuff, but at the same time, you have a lot of top tier decks that are costing $5, $6, $7, sometimes $1,000 if you want to go full high rarity. As we go on to the next card, Rescue Ace Turbulence. This is one of the other expensive cards for, from the deck. It isn't in the $22 range, but it is going for about $12.50, $12.49, kind of $13 range. This one right here is this one. I believe this is the one that lets you set. Yeah, this is the one that lets you set the 4 from the deck. So this is what really makes the deck really broken. Because to be honest, if the deck couldn't set the 4, it would still be good. But just having the ability to go into your deck and automatically set up, even going second is still pretty good. Kind of having the ability to kind of play into all this other stuff, and then if they stop all that, being able to end on him with the ability to go into 4 could still get you into a good good spot. So this going to $12, $13 kind of just makes sense. Rescue is another card that like I said, I had a lot of these, and I was just selling them because people were buying them for $2-3 a copy, and I wish I would have hung on to them, because even though right now they're barely at $2.30 with the dollar shifting, so we're looking at about $2.50 to $3.50. It's still one of those cards where it's the more popular it gets, the more people are gonna want to run it. Same with Alert. Alert is kind of in the same it's kind of in the same boat, where people were buying them for dollars, and right here $3.45, $3.46, pretty much the $4 range. These are kind of the cards where it's you get them, you trade them for $1 or $2, and then you don't really think about them, but then later on you wish you would have kept your 3, 4, 5 copies or whatever for this kind of price. So just know that if you're trying to play this deck, it is very expensive. Going at the collector's rares, you got these it says the market price at 106, but you probably have some right here. It says $86.75. We're looking probably, let's say $87, $90 for collector's rares. We're looking at $44 for collector's rares right here. It is just, this deck is freaking all around crazy. Everything else is pretty affordable, but you don't really run many copies of this. The deck is mainly The deck is pretty much mainly consisting of the monsters and the rescue and the alert. Those are like really like the heavy hitting cards. You do have the traps, which obviously are extremely good, but the Hydrant, Turbulence, also the one that that puts them face down, the one that does Book of Moon. I always forget which one. I kind of get them mixed up. My friend tells me to mix them up. I think it's the Airlifter that puts them face down. That's pretty good one, but that's the only cheap one that's really good in the deck. All the other cards are really pricey. So it's really kind of chill. If you're trying to run the deck, it is already up there. Baronne de Fleur, this is a card that I talk about a lot. I tell a lot of people, oh, like this, this is a good time, this is a bad time, it's up, this is down. But it's finally getting its reprint, and I don't want to go too much into it because I'm probably going to do a separate video kind of talking more, going, deeper into like how much I think certain things are going to cost with, how hard is it going to find, especially because like closer we get to the release day, we'll get some more ratios. But Baronne from, Legendary Collection, we're looking at like $20. The ultra rare even lower. This is like a really good time to get some of these hardcore cards, even though there are still cards like Chaos Angel, Dispatter. Those cards are still going to be up there, but it is good to see cards like this come down. We're looking at the super rare pre-sale for about $8.91. To be honest, I really feel like there's going to be a lot opened. So I think the lower rarity of cards, so like the super rares of like the really hard hitting things, I think those might actually bottom out to like under $5. Like I really do hope that Konami is able to, like Konami in America anyway, is able to kind of take a bit off the OCG and just like I don't know, I don't want to go too much around, but I understand like Konami needs to make their money, but I really wish Konami would just either make more Legendary Collection type sets to where every year we're like, okay, we're getting a set like this that'll like reprint some of these kind of better, more expensive cards that we really need, so that way like Yu-Gi-Oh isn't completely out of reach. Like you feel me? I wish, but that's something that I wish for. But right now, like since Baronne's going down to even under half its price, it's gonna go even lower. This is gonna go even lower because you're gonna have a whole bunch of different versions. Harpy's Featherstorm is another card that I totally forgot was going to be in the Legendary Collection, and I'm extremely happy that it is because I used to have the playset a long time ago and I sold them when I stopped playing Flu. But then every once in a while I want to go back to it, but then I realized I don't have these, and now that we're looking at these supers for about 122. That's actually a pretty decent price. They're probably going to go even lower, especially because you're going to be able to, I think this is going to be able, all these cards are going to be like available in these really high rarities. So I think the Legendary Collection, the value of those Legendary Collection is going to be less in the overall cards, because there are going to be a lot of good cards, but there's going to be a lot of good cards in like lower rarities, a lot like quote unquote lower rarities like super ultra. I think a lot of the value is going to come to like what card at what like certain cards at certain times that are really good, that have like a super high reprint in like the Ready Collection. So I really do want to, like, if like the quarter century or the new ultimate rares of these, or even the collector's rare version of these, start going really low, I would love to pick up a lot of copies of these, because these could, like, like I said, if Flu comes back, boom, they go up like that card. Pot of Prosperity is another card that I'm extremely happy that it's getting its reprint. It only had the reprint from like the pot sale, so it didn't really affect it. But now that the 20th anniversary reprint is coming, the super rare is already here at $10.91. These are already going for $20 and $14. I really do feel like they're really going to be affordable, being at $5, being in the $5 range, maybe even kind of stay around 10. But I'm thinking like 5 to 7. With like the originals kind of being in 2025s, depending on how they kind of like hold out. With the I can't really speak on the super high rarities. That'll be for a different video, but man, I am just like really hyped up for the set coming out. Alright, and then I just want to talk, these last two cards are just, oh my god. So Scrubbed Raid, I was kind of getting back into Runic, and I went back to my original Runic build, and then I ended up realizing that in YCS Annapolis, I forgot who it was. I'm sorry that I forgot the name, but he ended up topping, with Runic. So I checked out his build, and he was running Scrubbed Raid. I'm like, oh, I remember Scrubbed Raid. Like, at the time, I really didn't justify using it because I liked Messenger of Peace better, and I had more success using it. So like, I just went with a Messenger of Peace and never really, never really like fully bought into it. But and now that I saw his theory, I'm like, okay, I wanted to try it out, and I'm like, whoa, no, this is just way too much for me to try out. I thought there was like a common or rare version for some reason, but no, there's apparently just only like the super rare version. I've tried to look for all the other ones, but no, that's pretty much it. All we have is the Duelist Pack 9 Yusei. I believe that's just a super rare. So like pretty much every single copy is we're going at near first at $25.98, $25, $26. So we're looking at $25, $75 for a playset of this card simply because one guy topped a YCS with it. To be honest, that's kind of how Yu-Gi-Oh is. Sometimes certain decks really are only good by having, like, well, certain decks in certain situations are only good by having this card. But to be honest, I really still like Messenger of Peace better. I guess because it really depends on how you're running your Runic deck, because like, you know, a lot of the times, like, you know, with the Scrubbed Raid, you're still able to have your battle phase in certain situations, but like, you know, a lot of times in Runic, you're either stalling out to kind of get, you know, to kind of like, you know, get your opponent to either scoop or to like, you know, to deck them out, or, you know, like, or maybe you have like the Lava Golem if you're playing going second, or if you're playing in turn 2 and it's kind of burning them. So I like Messenger. I really do like Messenger like a piece better, even though like in time it does kill you. Like, you know, like that is really big. But you know, like I said, if you're playing Runic right, you're usually gaining a couple thousand life points, so you should get about 10 to 20 free turns of Messenger a piece, depending on how everything goes. So Messenger piece right here, you got the super rares, you know, for like, you know, $2. The super, you know, like these are the reprint super rares. Original super rares going for about $4, commons for about $1. So like, if you're still interested in the Runic strategy, there is an alternative. You don't have to run the super expensive Scrubbed Raid. Messenger piece is still a good option. You get a common for about $1 or $2, and then a super for about $2 to $4. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like I said, stick around. Keep on the lookout. There's gonna be a lot of videos coming out. Gonna do like the story time, gonna talk about and do another Maka Watch. Talk about like the state of Yu-Gi-Oh! And a couple other, you know, videos that I kind of have scripted out. So, peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one.